All right. Hello, my friends. This hopefully is the first of many videos to come regarding a twin build. I'm going to attempt to build two guitars at the same time. It's not something I normally do, something I normally don't favor, but maybe I'm doing it wrong and I'm willing to give it a go. I know my older brother's going to be happy that I'm going to try to build two guitars. But at any rate, these two guitars are going to be variations on the one that I started building this year, Autumn Leaf. I'm going to leave in the description a link to Autumn Leaf, the first one that I finished, that in my opinion has been one of the most successful models I've ever made, because I already sold two of them. And this looks like number 3 is going to be sold very soon. But I want to build one for stock, one that, so yeah, let me make sure I'm clear. One of these two is already sold. Kind of. The other one, no one has called dibs on, but I have the feeling that if I start building it, somebody will. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it a go. Now, these two guitars that I'm going to be building are not gonna be exactly the same, because that's kind of boring. I don't wanna do that. And one of them is gonna be headless, which is going to be even more interesting. So it's going to be a travel guitar already, Autumn Leaf model, that body shape and what have you. I might do a variation of the sound hole. My friend Brian, who's the one who's going to own this guitar, sent me a reference of a guitar that I really like. So I think the sound hole might be a little different. We'll see. I'm going to draw it on the computer and then make a decision. But making it headless is going to make it even smaller, which is going to be very, very cool. Now, for the woods, because of course that's kind of important, I already think I have some of the work done ahead of the time, because when I was doing the repair, and if you've seen some of the videos on the channel, you might have seen the Vogel repair that I was doing. I ended up cutting a couple of fretboards on a scale that was not the scale of the Vogel, and there's one is slightly smaller than the other one, and I don't remember what scale it is, but it doesn't matter, because we're going to be building bridge, we're going to build everything, so it doesn't matter the scale. And I know they're smaller than 25.5, which makes sense for a travel guitar to make it even smaller. So I want to say this one is Gibson scale, I think, or this one's Gibson scale, one of those two. But at any rate, I have this beautiful piece of teak. It's a yellow teak that we have here in the farm. I've already built a few necks with it. The guitar that I talked about yesterday, on yesterday's video, the Vaz model, the prototype, was done with this teak. It's amazing wood, super hard, super stable. I have this is, the Ecuadorians call this chanul. It's a really, really hard wood. It doesn't have amazing patterns. It doesn't have amazing grain and figures or what have you, but it's super stable. This thing is hard. Like, one of the things I tell people when they tell me, what do you think about building with Ecuadorian woods? They're amazing. They're amazing. When it comes to beauty, maybe American lumber can be prettier, and that's because we favor, in the guitar building business, we favor quilt tops and maples and what have you. And we can argue about that, because I find some of the stuff also gorgeous, but quality of wood here in the equator and the Amazon, it just doesn't get any better. This is more of the chanul. It's really heavy stuff. I can barely hold it like that. And so this is going to be one of the necks. This is already planed down to 22 millimeters, which is more or less where I want it. I think it's a little bit thicker. It looks a little thicker. This is obviously way too thick. And this is mahogany also from the farm, which I used on the previous model. This is the offcut of the one that I built. So I think I have the wood for the neck. But let me show you what I think I'm going to use for the tops. Look at this thing. It's like putrid wood. But this is awesome to me. I will tell you a story about this piece of wood. About 13 years ago, I decided that I was going to start building a home here in the farm. My grandpa is still alive, and I came to visit my grandpa, and he gifted my wife and I, she was my girlfriend back then, a plot of land, and said, you build your house here. So I began sending money, and we started building something. At that time, I know very little about construction now, but that time I knew nothing. And one of the things that was done to build the house was using a beam out of this piece of cedar to hold the whole side of the house. So if you can picture it, this was on the side of the house held by pillars from the bottom, and then this bamboo came across this part right here all the way to the other side, and it was holding up a pretty big floor, maybe 13 feet by 10 feet. Now, floods came. This was not the best material to do what we did, because we did a 2-story building. Again, this comes out of ignorance. We didn't know. So there was settlement, and then we had walls cracking. So we ended up redoing the foundation of the house. That's one of the crazy things that happened this year. And when that happened, we did the whole shebang. New pillars, all concrete, rebar, super strong. It's gonna outlast me, hopefully. But this piece of wood that has been sitting on the bottom of the house, protected from the elements, has been dry, as dry as it can be in the environment, for more than a decade. And I have quite a bit of this really, really dry aged cedar. So I think it's going to be really interesting to see the kind of tones I can get out of the cedar top. So I think I'm going to cut the top from here, and the sides themselves, I still don't know, but we're going to figure that one out. I do want to show one more thing regarding the headless guitar, because I think it's going to be the most difficult element of this build. And as you can guess, if you can see, I'm sweating. It's really, really hot. The season has started, and humidity and heat is the name of the game. So let me go ahead and give you a zoom on what the hardware that I got is all about, and then I guess we're gonna call the first video done. Okay, so this is the bridge I ordered that I intend to use for building the headless autumn leaf. And I've used this style of tuners before. If you check out the channel, you will find a headless model that had this style of bridge, but it actually came not just the tuning part itself, but the saddles also in one single piece. And actually, I made 2 guitars with that bridge. This is made by Geiger, which to me is some of the best bridges you can get for the money. This part obviously is where the tuners are. This goes in the body, and this goes at the end of the neck. So it's a very simple, ball end goes on this side. Obviously, you got to match the truss rod here, and very simple system to use. One of the things I like about this bridge is pretty easy to turn to begin with, but it actually comes with a little lever that you can put on here and then twist it really, really fast if you're in a hurry, if you're restringing a guitar, which I think it's very, very cool. And I don't know any other bridge that has that feature. It has a little magnetic contraption on the side, so when you're done using the little lever, you can just put it in there. And yeah, and you feed the strings right through there, twist it, and you're good to go. Now, the challenge about using this bridge on an acoustic model is, and I still don't know how I'm going to do it. I'm probably going to take it apart after I finish making this video, is to see how I'm going to mount it on the top itself. Because on the one that has the whole piece, there are 3 screws that you screw right onto the top of the electric guitar, and that's it. But on this one, as you can see, there's nothing. What do you screw it in? I did notice on the back, it does have 3 screws here, machine screws, and they screw backwards. So it almost feels like this would be set on top of the guitar and screwed from the bottom. But I don't know how that's gonna work yet. So I need to take this apart, see if I can do something different, or maybe even I've been thinking about building an aluminum plate under the top itself on the section where this is going to be, and then using that to hold the bridge down. So I still don't know what I'm going to do there, but we're going to figure that out together. Okay, and that's going to be it for the intro video. I'm going to leave, like I said, in the description a couple of links that you can check out so you know what I'm talking about. What is this guitars that I just made reference to? I'm going to make the reference to Autumn Leaf, which is the one I'm going to base these 2 builds off of. a reference to the one that uses this style of bridge, so you can check that out too. And a reference to my last video, which has that wood, the teak that I just described, and also using Geiger bridges. Geiger is good stuff. That's all I got to say about Geiger. Honestly, for the money, it's some of the best stuff you can get out there. But anyways, if you like this kind of content, and if you want to see what I'm doing, if you want to check out these two builds, go ahead and give me a like, maybe give me a sub, and I will see you guys on the next video. Be awesome. Be good.